In 2000, the Rai Valley community was surprised to learn of the real effect that farming was having on water quality in the area. A group of farmers then formed a catchment group with the help of Landcare Trust's Barbara Stewart to address those water quality issues.
The New Zealand Landcare Trust became involved in this catchment. There was an issue with outward bound and water quality at the Rai Falls. Students were getting rashes and they complained to the council. So we just had a recent very successful project in the Aorere catchment in Golden Bay, and a group of farmers here from the Rai and I decided that we would put in an application to the Sustainable Farming Fund, which was successful. So as a part of that successful project in Golden Bay, we brought farmers over from Golden Bay to talk to Rai Valley farmers about how they'd resolved their issues. We ran a series of workshops around storage for wet conditions and then back to land when the conditions were right. The farmers conducted their own report into the catchment, and from that report we chose best management practices suited to the high rainfall area. So the farmers have stumped up and completed all of those projects, and with the New Zealand Landcare Trust we had a farmer came forward who wanted to go the extra mile and put in a nursery. There's a few more people wanting to do some planting, so that's good news.
I know, it's good. No, it'll be very good.
Kenny Kyle and his late wife Orla set up this nursery because they saw that our local unitary authorities didn't have the financial ability to provide the support to farmers. His goal or his vision was to provide plants at cost so that it would encourage farmers to do riparian planting. You always look for that special farmer, and farmers are such busy people that they really don't have the time or the energy to put into this stuff. And Kenny sort of caught the vision of that this is good business, and so I've continued to work closely with him and to support him in his vision for this community. Rai Valley and the Upper Pelorus here are pretty important communities, very rural, but primary industry is what we do in the top of the south, and it's really important for our local economy. So meeting the objectives of Fonterra and the National Policy Statement for fresh water, you know, catching on to someone like Kenny who can help move that vision forward has been very important.
We started the nursery then because farmers haven't got plants available at the right price, so we charge the plants out at $1 each, and we try to put labour around it with outward bound as well, so that's how we can charge the plants at a third of their retail value. Contrary to popular belief, dairy farmers don't have time nor money for this kind of, they've got enough black holes to fill it, especially at the moment, so I think we have to be patient. So we'll shift plants into other areas till farmers are ready for them. Farmers do eventually copy each other as well. They never let on that they do, but they do copy each other in time, so we're working on the back of that as well, that they will imitate each other in time, and I mean it's a good thing because yeah, our market depends on our green lean image. Landcare Trust, Barbara Stewart in particular, is there. She's integral to what we're doing here. She's a go-between, and she can pull a lot of groups of people together in any one moment, like Fish and Game Council, DOC, Outward Bound. Yeah, people you'd never expect to see around a table together. She's been able to do it. Yeah, it's been very important. Yeah, it's a slow process, but you have to start somewhere, and yeah, it's very good.
Andy Reid is a share milker on a farm with a waterway that feeds into the Pelorus River.
We've upgraded our effluent system because up here, as opposed to some areas, there's a lot of rivers and streams. And so we have had to do a lot of fencing to accommodate all of those, and redesign some tracks so we don't have the cows walking through the creeks. For us, it's been just keeping up with all the regulations that have been put out, not just by the council and but Fonterra as well. And it's just part of keeping up to date with the changes that's happening in the industry, basically. I think we do tend to cop it quite a lot, and it can be a bit tough because at the same time as you're trying to run a business, you do have to be aware of everything else that's happening downstream. And I don't think farmers have got a blind eye to it. I think we could probably do a bit of a better job as an industry of getting that message out there that we are aware and we are looking at it and we're tackling these issues head on. Fish and Game have come here today to put some natives on the stream, and that's going to improve the habitat for all the native fish and everything else that lives in that area and the birds. That will require a bit of maintenance, release spraying every 3 or 4 months, and Fish and Game is going to help us with that. We've already seen the clean streams accord with all the waterways fenced off, and there's some nutrient limits that are going to come in. And at the moment, I think most of the focus is just on recording so that everyone's got a better idea of what's actually happening on the farm, and then we can put those into rules and regulations that don't harm the farm operation but are actively protecting the environment at the same time. The message is getting out there. I think there's been a lot of good work done, especially in this area. There's some really good farmers that have taken it a lot further than we have, and they're a bit of an example to everyone else.
Where we're at now is we've seen improvement, and back in 2014 the Rai catchment was recognised as the most improved catchment in the Marlborough district. So that was a really good pat on the back for farmers through the Morgan Foundation. The success is the community involvement, the independence that the Trust brings to the situation, and it is a good model for other areas. The Trust has developed the integrated catchment management model, which is transferable around the country. So, and when our communities do well, we can celebrate with them. And we often do that. We just have a party together and celebrate a good outcome.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.